On my last video, I talked about our love affair with cars and how much money we spend, waste, however you want to put it, on vehicles at the expense of our own wealth. So I wanted to go use a tool. Every now and then, I'll bring a tool to you guys that I'm familiar with that I will utilize to kind of show you, give you a picture of what kind of money we're talking about. This is a tool called Testfolio. Um, Pretty simple, pretty nice way, but this just allows you to put in certain parameters and see. It does a back test. It goes back in history, considering the markets, and gives you certain outcomes based on a starting value and how much money you would put in on a monthly basis. So what I want to do is go back and, if you remember my last video, I said that the average new car payment, the last numbers on NerdWallet was $742 a month. And I think the average payment on a used vehicle was 600 something. I don't remember exactly what it was, to be honest with you, but I do remember the new car was $742 a month. So I wanted to go back and pull up Testfolio and just kind of give you an idea of what that could mean to you personally. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to leave these starting dates open, so it'll go back as far as the data that's in this particular program. And I'm going to say our starting value is $1. Just because I think you have to have something in there, but I just wanted to, so just say $1, and just let's say instead of the 742 whatever, let's say you're just gonna, your car payment was $600 over all these years, average of $600 a month, and there it is. The frequency is a month. Okay, and we're going to adjust for inflation. And we're going to come down here and say, if you instead would have put that $600 a month car payment into a simple three fund portfolio, which is, if you've watched me at all, you've heard me talk about the three fund portfolio. These are just some options you could have, and you see right here the three fund portfolio. So let's say, instead of, I'm going to get rid of this one because I already have one right here. Let's say, and these are not recommendations. These are just funds that I know about, and quite frankly, these are funds that I actually own, or my wife and I own. So I use this as an example. Again, not a recommendation. But say if you were going to use VTI, which is a Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. That's a U.S. stock market, and then I'm going to use VXUS, which is a Vanguard Total International ETF. And I'm going to use BND, which is just a total bond fund, again through Vanguard. So if I can get this in here, BND. Like I said, in full transparency, these are funds that I own, but again, there are other vendors besides Vanguard that have very similar funds. And let's say our percentage of VTI, or the total US stock market, is 50% of the portfolio. And let's say the international is 20. And let's say the BND is 30%, for a total of 100%. So that's a simple 70-30 portfolio. To go back over it, 50% of the portfolio is total stock market, total US. 20% is total international. So those two together is your equity portion of the portfolio, which is 70. And then the bonds are 30. So that's a 70-30 portfolio. So if we put that $600 in there, let's back test it. And then look at the results down here. Ending balance. And this is just 2011 to 2025. Total balance, ending balance is $148,000, almost $149,000. And you see some more numbers over here. Volatility, this is your measured in standard deviation. So that's your variation around the mean, or the variation around the average. So it's 11.88%. But you see that just, and you see the graph. I mean, it is certainly has an upward trend over time. Um, so again, that's more as far as me. That's what I'm interested in. That's what I'd rather focus on. Um, and guys, I know cars are important. I, I'm, I am. I wasn't born yesterday, but I just think they need to have their place, especially at times where it undermines the path that you say you're on to grow your wealth and put yourself in a better financial position. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Um, and I know we each have different priorities, but and that's why I always say a channel like this is probably uh, not going to be the fastest growing, probably not going to be the most popular, but um, I love it. I love doing this because I know that it takes a shift in one's thinking to start to make some real progress. And I always say it doesn't matter what the income level is, you still have to change your mind because we see time and time again where people who had high incomes for a certain amount of time wound up broke. And so the income level is immaterial. But I just wanted to come back on and kind of show this example. So that $600, if that was the average car payment over the last several years, let's see, what was that period from January 28th, 2011 to March 25th, 2025? That's $600 in a simple three fund portfolio would have left you with almost $150,000 today. That's it. So we just have to choose what's more important to us. We have to choose our path and make decisions that line up with what we say. Again, hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.